All right, so Acme United is a company that does cutting, measuring, and safety. We're the largest scissor maker in the world. We make the scissors for every kind of application you can imagine, whether that's for the school, the home, the office, for craft, for cooking. We cover it all, industrial. We make the most number of measuring items in the world. Our Westcott rulers are the staple that's sold for all the kids in North America. We make them in wood, plastic, aluminum. We also make first aid kits and safety items. And we've recently completed an acquisition of First Aid Only, which is enhancing our growth substantially. Innovation is the lifeblood of our company. One of the good things about Acme United is that many of our people are constantly thinking about how do we do it better, how do we do it faster, how do we make it easier, how do we add value for our customers. An example of that is something as silly as a pencil sharpener. About 4 years ago, we took the old brick brown pencil sharpeners, we turned them on their heads so the shavings would fall down. We put titanium coatings, non-stick coatings on the blades so that they could either do things like colored pencils or crayons. The titanium carbide blades allowed them to stay sharper 3 times longer. It all worked terrifically, and today we've got a substantial product family in something as silly as pencil sharpeners. So we've got some very big growth plans for the coming year. It wasn't many years ago that we were about 30 million in sales, and today we're cracked 100 million. One of the most exciting and interesting things for me is to build and develop our management team to be able to reach goals that we only put on paper years ago, and now it's actually happening. So in the next year, I'd like to see us between 125 and 130 million, which would be up from 90 today, and I can see the roadmap to do it. And by the way, it's very profitable. When we achieve that, we can look back and say, that's a job well done. First, the market cap is about $55 million, so it's a very small market cap, and yet next year we'll have EBITDA of about 10 million. This year about 8. So obviously strong cash flow, low market cap. The benefit of having major customers and a trickle of products going through these major customers gives us runway to grow substantially, we believe. So we take this $50 million business, we execute on the 10 million EBITDA for next year. We believe we're going to see substantial appreciation in the stock. One of the downsides for analysts is perhaps the lack of liquidity. We don't trade as much as we'd like, but on the other hand, we believe we perform, there'll be a way to participate in our stock. We acquired First Aid Only in June of this year. We've had very, very good success with first aid products within our company. We started about 15 years ago putting gauze in a white box, and we placed it at Staples. Then it became at Office Max and Office Depot, then United Stationers. Pretty soon it was a $13 million chunk of our business, growing very nicely, and we could see the benefit of the recurring revenues for refills. 3 years ago we bought Pack Kit, which was an industrial first aid company. So that opened up accounts like Granger and McMaster Carr and Oklahoma Rigging. We began to sell fracking kits to the oil and gas industry. And incidentally, those are quite different because if you get fracking fluid in your eye, you don't need an 8-ounce bottle of eye wash, you need jugs. And so most everything in our fracking area is industrial and heavy duty. When we bought First Aid Only, it was competing with us at Staples, it was competing with us at Granger. They had an innovative approach to selling smart compliance kits, which allowed a user to then be in compliance with either OSHA or mine safety requirements, and as a result they had the confidence that they were meeting government requirements. The refill business at First Aid Only is in general proprietary. The boxes fit into specially designed cabinets. Each box has a single unit dosage so that you don't have waste by grabbing a handful of adhesive bandages. The net of that is we've got a business now which has strengthened our first aid business, given us about a $45 million platform, allowed us to rebid the components so that we're able to drop our cost of sales, and finally add tremendous value to our customers through the refill sales. So if you wanted to remember Acme, think of three things: very innovative products, sustained growth, demonstrable, you can see it. Strong cash flow, we'll be doing $10 million in EBITDA, we believe, next year, up from 8. A dividend of 2.1%, and the CEO, a substantial shareholder who would like you to ride with him as we have the stock appreciate.